Hello, and thank you for watching and listening to another episode of Unmedicated and Educated with Keita Rose. I'm Keita Rose, and here we deep dive, dissect, and sometimes diagnose, because it seems everyone, including myself, I am not excluded, has lost their damn minds. If you are new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. If you're an OG, then you already know what the is going on. Like, share, subscribe, talk shit in the comments. You know, tell me how you really feel. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this episode. We are on season 5, episode 33 of Love After Lockup, and this one is called First Times and Second Chances. Thank you for tuning in to my
reality check. I really feel like I want a jingle.
Like, yeah, my intro is cool, but y'all, your girl is feeling in a jingly mood. If you know anybody that knows how to write jingles, or you have an idea of how my jingles for my reality recap should start, please mention them in the comments so that I can have a jingle. I deserve a jingle, damn it. So we start off the episode with Z, and I found out her name, you guys. It's Zaraya. Her parents called her Zaruya. Her husband calls her Zaraya. Either way, we're gonna continue to call her Z out of respect, because I don't know how to say it, and I'm not gonna be fumbling with this the whole time. So Z, her brother, her parents are outside of the jail. If you remember the last recap, the PO officer picked him up from the jail, wouldn't allow the family to pick him up. They followed the PO officer on some high-speed chase to get to a certain facility and office. They didn't understand what was going on, so now that's that scene, right? So they're all outside. She is upset. My man has been in jail for years! 7 years! And it's not fair that you're taking him away. So the mom is like, how long have we been waiting? And she's like, 30 minutes. And it's like, baby girl, if he's been in jail for 7 years already, 6 years already, you can wait another hour to see what's happening, okay? Could it be that they found out that he committed another crime? You don't know. Let's just chill and make sure we understand what's happening. As soon as she says that, Troy walks out. She is so happy. She's ecstatic to see her man. Everybody's excited. And Troy lets us know that the reason why the PO officer had to take him was because he has to wear his ankle monitor. The PO officer didn't want to take any chances on him just getting out, being free, and then roaming amongst us free folks without some type of tracking apparatus. You can tell that Troy is fine as hell. I will say that. Troy is fine. And you can tell that he was a hood guy, you know. So they're showing us some pictures of his past, and he's letting us know that he had let money and greed get the best of him, you know. He was a street dude, you know, but now he doesn't want to do that. He's matured, and he's just ready to start his new life with his girl. I love that. I love that. So as always, the girlfriends and the wives have to show the man, the inmate, the former inmate, what they've bought them, right? What they've spent their hard earnings on. And so Z is no different. She lets her man know that she got him a money bouquet. Okay, money flowers. I'm gonna shower you with money flowers, baby. She got him a king's crown because he's the king, and the king is finally home to get back on his throne. At the end of the day, she's just happy to see her man moving along. So then we move along to Shonta and True. So if you remember, Shonta had booked that expensive Airbnb for 1 week because she really wanted to enjoy True. And also she wanted to see how they were going to interact with each other, like in a home setting, because Shonta has kids and Shonta has a life. So Shonta wants to know if he's going to be able to adapt with this, you know, with this lifestyle, with her lifestyle. And I'm glad that now that I think about it, I'm glad that she did that rather than, hey, come to my home and where all my information is and all my shit that you could possibly, you know, do what you got to do with. I'm not going to say he's a thief. I'm not going to say he's going to steal. I'm just saying it's good that she said, let me see how we interact first, because relationships over the phone and relationships in person are two different things, right? So if you remember, they had sex. Everything was good. When Shonta woke up in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, True was gone. He's not answering his phone. She doesn't know where he is. She's feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of panic, and she just doesn't know how to feel right now. But True is fine. True is fine. True is in the car with his sister. It turns out he had his sister pick him up. They went to the mall, they went shopping, they talked a little, and they chilled. And one thing about True that really pissed me off was he was like,
I don't really gotta say nothing, you know, like, I'm free now, like, I'm a free man, and so, yeah, I just hopped up out the bed and I had my sister pick me up because I don't have to answer to nobody. Shonta ain't my boss.
Shantae's the lady that's been financially supporting you. Shantae's the lady that you told them that you were paroling to, right? You told them that you were paroling to Shantae in her house. Therefore, she's responsible for you. Shantae is your fiance. So no, she's not the boss of you because you can't make a grown woman or grown man do anything. But Shantae needs to know where you are because Shantae is taking care of you and she's responsible for you. So that just let us know a little bit about True's mindset and how he feels about authority. And he doesn't like authority, which makes sense because he's been locked up for the past 13 years. Because people that don't like authority have to be supervised. People that don't like to be told what to do, I'm gonna do whatever I want, I'm gonna crash out if I want, I'm gonna act a fool if I want, I'm gonna create chaos if I want. They need to be supervised. That's why there's facilities for folks like this. Feel how you feel about that statement. I don't give a damn. So basically, you know, he's out to eat with his sister and his sister's like, here's the jewelry that I bought you. And that's another thing that pissed me off because it's like Shantae has spent $30,000 on True throughout the whole relationship, right? He gets out and she spends another $2,500. So True has clothes, True has shoes, True has a cell phone, right? And this is the lady that you ain't got to tell that you leave in the house for. This the lady you ain't got to tell shit to because you don't owe her nothing. Are you serious? Yeah, the sister buys him jewelry so he got a little neck piece on him, whatever. So everybody is lacing True up, but what I need everybody to do is stop paying for True. I need you to stop buying him stuff. If you want to buy him something, you know what I would have done? I would have took his ass straight to Burlington Coat Factory. He doesn't need J's, jewelry. He don't need to look like he the man. He needs to become a man. It's time that he become a man because he's been in jail since he was 18 years old. And so I don't know if y'all know this, but they say that when people have gone to jail and have been incarcerated for a long time, if they're not working on themselves, if they're not like reading books, gaining further education, if they're not working on themselves and improving themselves, that people that go to jail for long periods of time, people that be on drugs for long periods of time, they emotionally and intellectually stop where they started those drugs, that addiction, that lifestyle, right? So let's say I was 15 years old and I got locked up for 20 years. It could very well be if I didn't work on myself that my mind is still that of a 15-year-old. Right? Is an 18-year-old boy trapped in like a 32-year-old man's body. And so sometimes we see the man, we're attracted to the man talk good because he got that mouthpiece, so we want to see what the man is about. But when we start really looking at that man's character, at that man's mindset, at where that man is intellectually, I think one of the scenes, Shantae got really, really mad because she's like, I'm dealing with an idiot. You're dealing with an 18-year-old that's in a 32-year-old body. So now you have to decide whether or not your 32-year-old self and your 32-year-old mindset is going to be okay with attaching yourself to him and to his mindset and to his beliefs and to the way in which he lives his life. The hell no.
God, please, no! No!
So basically, it just seems like the sister keeps on saying the same thing, which is along the lines of like, True, are you happy with Shantae? Are you sure you're happy? And in not so many words, I feel like she doesn't want to say anything, but she wants her brother to be honest because she doesn't want Shantae to be hurt. She knows her brother's a player. She knows her brother has other things on his mind. She knows that his brother isn't going to get right. Sometimes you just know. You know, right? I've had family members where I look at them and I'm like, you ain't never going to change and you're going to always be the same. And you could be mad and you could scream and you could try to take things away from them or you could try to distance yourself. But at the end of the day, they're going to be who they are. If you want them to be in your life, you just have to either accept it and love them from a distance or accept all they bullshit. But those are the two options because they're not going to change. And so I think that's why his sister keeps asking, like, are you happy with Shantae? And he's like, yeah, you know, I love her. That's my fiance. But anyway, what's up with your friend? So yeah, we know what type of time True's on. Wow. Nah. So then we get to Julian and Christine. If you can remember, Christine has this cat. She's an unarmed bank robber that had some run-ins with the law and had been addicted to really strong, hard drugs in the past. Julian is a Pentecostal writer. He's very calm, very cool, very collected. I don't know why they are together. Basically, they're riding in the car and Christine is letting us know that she's lost custody of her kids. She said that growing up, she had a single mother household, right? And her mother didn't really enjoy being a mother, so she spent a lot of the times with her grandmother. She said, but they had recently became close and trying to be cool. So she's going through her phone and she's seeing all the messages that she's been missing out on for years, for the years that she's been incarcerated. So of course, ding, 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 you get all these notifications. She has a million emails. And the last message from her mom was like, get your shit together, bro. Like, get your shit together. And so she explains to us that she has a little bit of an animosity towards her mom because her mom wasn't the best mom when she was growing up, but when she confided into her mom that she had a drug problem, her mom went ahead and called CPS and got her kids out of that situation. And though I understand it's like, you weren't a best mom, so I don't know why you sitting up here judging me. People can change. And when people decide that enough is enough and they've had enough of their own bullshit, they change. And so if I know that I wasn't the best mom, but now I'm a grandmother and I see you on heavy drugs, robbing banks, Christine, doing things that you're not supposed to. Yeah, I got to take my grandkids out of that situation. And you can feel like I shouldn't, have done that. And you can feel like that wasn't fair to you. But a lot of the times with addicts, they'll confide into somebody like, yeah, I'm on this hard drug. But when you say to them, are you ready to get off that hard drug? They make excuses. They don't want to go to rehab. They like, listen, I told you about my problem. That should be enough. I feel like Christine shouldn't have put herself in those situations, but now she has a little bit of an animosity towards her mother. What pissed me off about this scene, I know y'all are like, damn, Keita, you're always mad. Yes. What pissed me off with this scene is that Julian's sitting there and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my kids back. And Julian, I love you so much. I don't know what I would do without you. Don't tell me no shit like that. I don't like when people say things like that. And let me tell you why. To the average person, I can't do anything without you. And you mean the world to me. How am I supposed to breathe without you? Might seem very loving. Might seem like you care a lot and you have a lot of passion towards this relationship. And I too used to think that when men used to be like, I can't live without you. You my everything. I don't know how to breathe without you. I used to think that it was passion. Now I understand that they're telling you something without telling you. They're telling you that without you to lean on, without you to be codependent with, without you to put all my shit on, I wouldn't know what I would do. Without me, baby, you can educate yourself, you can strive, you can thrive. Now, will you be sad without my presence? I'd hope so if I was valuable to you and if I was an asset to your life. But nah, don't tell me no shit like I don't know what I would do without you. And for Julian not to have any kids, it makes me mad that she's putting a lot on like him being a stepdad, us getting married, and you taking on some of my problems. They're driving to the hotel. They're very sexually frustrated. Julian's not saying much because he's shy, but Christine's like, yeah, I'm going to really do it to him. Like, I've had a lot of experience because I've slept with a lot of men. And it's like, Christine, stop saying shit like that. Stop it. They decide to have sex and they don't want to have sex with condoms because condom is for kids and condoms that kiddie shit. And we raw dogging. Yes, Christine, let's make more kids. So now, Julian, if you do become her baby daddy, just understand what comes with that. We don't want to hear it's not fair, life's hard, none of that shit. Just know what comes with being Christine's baby daddy. Lord. So then it's Kim and Joey. If you remember, Kim is the teacher's aide. Joey is the identity thiever, right? He will take you from you, okay? You won't even know it. She's about to go pick up Joey, but she's starting to have some really anxiety is starting to grow within her, right? She's starting to have some really big concerns about like her body. She had 2 kids, so she don't know if like he'll be attracted to her. She doesn't know if she'll look good. I'm not trying to be judgmental or critical, but what I'll say is, especially women, right? Whenever you're about to go meet somebody, whatever those insecurities are that you're starting to feel, like you weren't feeling that, but now your anxieties and your insecurities have heightened, you needed to have been worked on that prior to getting in a relationship. So if you know that, man, I don't feel like I'm smart enough, or I don't feel like I got a good enough job, or God, I don't feel like I look good enough. You can actually work on those things prior to being in a relationship. You can go to the gym, you can go to school, you can go do these things so that you can gain more confidence. Because when you're already stepping into a situation without confidence, somebody can come in and easily break you down or break you down further because you don't have confidence. She's also afraid that he's gonna be on drugs, He's been on opiates, which are very hard drugs, very addictive drugs for 2.5 decades. She doesn't know what she's gonna do or if he's gonna actually want to stay out of trouble. So all of these things are like clouding Kim's mind. I love Joey, but I am scared of these things. But he's gone the extra mile to show me that he's gonna walk the straight and narrow. This man has been in jail the whole time. He hasn't done anything to show you shit. This man ain't got out, got 2 jobs, worked his ass off to buy you a home so that you and your kids can have somewhere to stay. He ain't do none of that. He didn't go fix your car and use his skills to help around the house to show you that he's gonna be an asset to your life. He didn't do any of that. He talked to you in jail because that's the only thing that he can do in jail. So please Stop with the whole like, he did the part. No, he didn't. He didn't do shit, okay? And you're scared because it's getting really close to the time. You're about to find out what type of man that you have already promised that you're gonna marry once he's out. I think they're good for each other though, because I find it funny how Kim is like, yeah, Joey is always into like trailer park trash, addicted, nasty ass women. And it's like, babe,
if Joey likes pieces of shit and he's only ever dated pieces of shit, because that's the only thing he's ever been attracted to, what does that... Never mind.
So then we move on to Keith and Latisha. Latisha's in the spa, right? And so Keith calls her. He's like, what you doing? She says that she's getting ready to tell his whole family that he's getting out soon. So he's got some type of special situation with inmates where I guess they get like an early release date. Kind of like when we were kids and we got to get out at 12. They get to get out of jail early. So she's going to let all of his family know, and she's very excited. But she wants him to know that she's not cool with the sister. Apparently his sister had been saying a lot of things about her online, talking crap, and the fact that she spent $15,000 out of Keith's pockets, right, on his card for her wedding ring. It rubbed the sister the wrong way, so she wasn't messing with it. So then we fast forward to the actual event, right, where the family's around, and Latisha is looking for the sister because she's excited to confront her. She really wants to confront her about all the stuff she was talking on Facebook. But then she finds that the sister didn't show up. And she's like, well, I would think that because your brother's getting out of jail and because I have very important news, you would care enough to show up. But you don't care that she didn't come to support Keith. You care that she wasn't there for the drama. She doesn't like you. She said what she said on Facebook, so why am I supposed to pull up at your house to do anything? You even said if you're not going to respect me, then she can't come to the house. Okay, well, I don't respect you, so I can't come to the house. Period. So then we move on to Hope and Arthur. Remember, Hope is the truck driver from Dallas. Arthur is Triangle Head Man. He has a tattoo of a triangle on his forehead. Their plans were to sleep in the truck. She had made the camper real nice for him, made the bed. She tried to make it as nice as one could in the back of a truck. So he's like, hey, babe, do you have air conditioning? Like, if you don't, I can't sleep in your truck. Immediately, Hope is like, So she's like, fine, I'll just take you to our apartment. She goes to their apartment. It's a very, very nice apartment, beautiful view. They want to get down and dirty. And of course, Hope is self-conscious. Again, she's another one of those women that are like, well, I don't know how he's going to like my body. When I first met him, I was really skinny. Whenever we were dating, I was really, really thin. And now that he's been in prison for 5 or 6 years, I've put on some weight. Hope is a very beautiful woman. It just goes to show that a lot of people, men and women, will dedicate their whole lives to finding other people and finding validation in that dopamine hit of having another person and having sex with other people. But when it comes to pouring into ourselves, getting to know ourselves, self-development, being alone for a little bit, you don't need to be in nobody's face. You already got a man. He just happens to be incarcerated. So it's not like you were lonely. It's not like you were single. It's not like you weren't on the phone with somebody every day. It's just that physically you were by yourself. And sometimes it's so difficult for us to just sit alone. Just like when you meet somebody and you start to get to know them, so then you start to fall in love with them. When you get to know yourself and it is just you start to get to know yourself and fall in love with yourself. That is how that process goes. And I feel like a lot of us don't do that. One thing I did notice is that she bought him a sewing machine. He says that in prison, he really enjoyed like the fashion classes and sewing, even though it wasn't like macho and masculine. It's something that he still enjoyed. So the fact that he wants to be a fashion designer and create his own clothes, and she decided to facilitate that dream by buying him a sewing machine, does show that she really cares about him. The sleeping with the other man part took me aback, but she do care about him. She bought him a sewing machine. That means something, damn it. That means something. Okay, moving along. So then we get to Shonta and True. True's been really just pissing me off this whole time. I feel very bad for Shonta. I can tell that she's really insecure. I can tell that she's really going through things in life, and sometimes when we go through things, we attach the person that was there when we were going through it. We attach that event with that person. Like, one of my friends helped me get through a divorce, then I owe my friend my life, and I owe my friend all this shit because she helped me get through that divorce. And without her, I would have never gotten through it. But the truth is, you would have never known. You don't know what you would have done without her because you didn't have that option. A lot of us are a lot stronger than we think, and we can get through a lot of things. I would have never been able to graduate college if it wasn't for my boyfriend. If it wasn't for this person, I would have never been. No, this person assisted you. This person was an asset to your life at that moment. But let's stop crediting everything we are to somebody, right? And she feels like because she was sexually assaulted by her coworkers and True was there for that experience and helped her get through it by giving her positive feedback and talking to her when she didn't have friends or family, then he's her lifeline. He's the one that brings her peace. He's the one that brings her happiness. And it's like, no, he did that for that one time. After that, you started telling the Lord, you started asking the Lord, why are you with this demon? You started calling him a demon, Shonta. Remember that. So the producers asked Shonta how she's feeling. She says she's irritated. She doesn't understand why True wasn't answering the phone. They had sex and then he just dipped. So True comes in and he like, yeah, I was at the mall. She like, if you were at the mall, where's your shopping bags? He like, they in my sister's car. I ain't feel like I don't want my stuff with me. A part of me feels like his stuff was in the sister's car, and he's also planning after this whole Airbnb excursion thing to go ahead and live with his sister, and that's the reason why a couple of months back when his mom was asking, who are you living with, me and your sister, or are you living with Shonta? He couldn't give a real reason because he was trying to have his cake and eat it too and figure out what he can get from who. And so far, he's gotten $30,000 jewelry, clothes, and shoes from these women. So he's like, well, if you think I'm cheating, let's just call my sister. But I think we all are at that age where we know that your family, a man's family, a woman's family is going to lie for her. A woman's best friend is going to lie for her. A man's best friend is going to lie for him. They don't owe you any loyalty.
Well, I've been married to Joey for 40 years, and he's 46.
Yeah, he's 46, meaning for 6 more years, he was loyal to his family and his family was loyal to him. For 6 more years than you've known him, he's been with them. So stop thinking that just because you've been around for a long time and you get to take pictures with matching pajamas with the family during Thanksgiving and Christmas, that you mean something to those people. I've been in relationships and every ex's mom has been like, oh my God, I love you so much. You're everything to me. She's the keeper. Marry her. Marry her. And as soon as we break up, it was like, well, I knew something was off about her. Girl, you don't owe me any loyalty. You don't have to pretend. They will lie to kick it every time, okay? So Shonta is upset with True. She's like, you don't like to follow the rules. And he's like, Shonta always has a nasty ass attitude. And it's like, she has an attitude because she's asking you to go see your parole officer. You were supposed to meet with him. And now you're skipping parole meetings. And he's like, what is the big deal? Why does everybody want me to follow these dumbass rules? I'm not somebody that likes to follow rules. You're going to go back to jail and everybody around you is trying to prevent that from happening. But see, that's the problem with us women. The problem is you care about this man's future more than he does. You care about what this man does with his life more than he does. I can't care about your family more than you, your kids more than you, your life more than you do, your education more than you, your relationship with God more than you do. Enough. When somebody shows you how they're rocking in their life, you need to believe them and say, oh, let me back up. I ain't know it was like that. I thought we were on the same page, but I guess we're not. Because I want somebody that's going to come and be an asset to my life, somebody that's going to come and be responsible and does what he has to do. He's telling Shonta that when she buys her first restaurant, that he's going to own it with her, co-own it, and he gonna manage it. You can't even manage your time properly. So she's trying to explain that to him and she's just getting mad. She steps out the car. She's had enough. He's irritated. He doesn't understand what the big deal is and why everybody's on his back. That's exactly what he told her. He said, get off my back. If a Negroid ever told me to get off his back, you ain't gotta worry about me ever laying on mine, ever for you again. I'm off it. Trust me. I'm not on your back. I'm not on your front. I'm not by your side. So basically he's like, man, I'm not gonna get in trouble. The only time I get in trouble is when I hit a lick, and he describes what a lick is. So basically he's like, a lick is where he robs people blind for all of their possessions and belongings that they spent their hard earnings on. Okay. And so as long as he don't get bored, he won't crash out. Well, let me tell you something. Life is boring. And that's why a lot of people don't like to self-reflect and sit with themselves, because it's boring. You're just there. Maybe you read a book. Maybe you go on a walk. Maybe you start caring about your gym routine and different things. That shit is boring. It doesn't sound like let's go smoke, drink, and have sex and have as much fun as possible and be so drugged out of our minds that we don't feel anything with loud music around us. It's not that. Or let's watch a movie and let's, whatever you do for your pastime that gives you that dopamine hit, that fun hit, that I'm having fun and I feel pleasure, it isn't pleasurable. A lot of the times working on yourself and building your own shit isn't pleasurable, which is why only 1% of the world does it. The 1%ers that you say, damn, he's successful. Wow, she's gorgeous. Oh my God, this is your home? Yes. because I work hard and I had to do a lot of boring shit while you were out trying to chase fun. And so True really doesn't understand this. She's getting mad and she calls him an idiot. She's like, I'm dealing with an idiot. If you know that the person that you're dealing with is an idiot, and you know that the birds of a feather flock together, and that you are what you entertain, come on now. It's time for us to get a little smarter in our decisions. And I think that she's trauma bonded with him so bad. He's not trauma bonded with her at all. Maybe he is, like, man, she held me down while I was in prison and that was a really tough time, but she's trauma bonded because of a sexual assault. And I don't know if that hits different or if that makes you stronger, more attached to somebody. I don't know what it is, but she's not going to be able to let him go without a fight. That's what I'm sad about, because Shantae really is beautiful. You could tell she is really sweet. She's not some hoe out here trying to do all of that. She is really trying to just settle down and be with somebody, but True not gonna be the one you need to be with, baby. But hey, let's just watch this play out, shall we? That is the end of the recap. Season 5, episode 33. First times and second chances. Y'all, let me know how you feel about these new couples in the comments. And until next time, baby, I will holla.